the Fresno Focus Radio Hour. This is the No Focus Radio Hour. Comedy and insight from the greatest minds in Fresno. A Lightomine Media production. That's right, this is the No Focus Radio Hour, the #1 independent podcast in the Central Valley. Thank you for listening and for telling a friend. The No Focus Radio Hour is available anywhere podcasts can be found, including YouTube and your home smart speakers. Remember to subscribe and leave a review. It helps others discover our show. And while you are reviewing, keep in mind that 5 stars is the correct number of stars. If you enjoy our show, please share it with your friends. And if you hate it, share it with your enemies. Check out our site, nofocusradio.com. There you can get exclusive content and vote on Don's polls. Find us on social media. Our handle is at nofocusradio.
You know it's true. Now I know just what I'm gonna do. Gonna hit the ground running, running just as fast as I can.
What are you running
Gonna
to?
hit the ground running to Fresno, running just as fast as I can.
Woo! Oh, this is the No Focus Radio Hour. It is the #1 independent podcast in the Central Valley, and is made for those who live in the Central Valley, for those who miss the Central Valley, those who long to live in the Central Valley, and those who
are enjoying our 2 weeks of decent weather in the Central Valley.
That's right.
Yeah.
As always, we have our beautiful, beautiful cast of characters. We have with us Eric the Doorman.
Keep the doorman's name out of your mouth.
Oh,
Wow.
We also have with us Marty Stupidasso.
Hey, I had to eat dinner at the old spaghetti factory, so I might have explosive diarrhea, so I'm warning you now.
Ooh, that's gonna be exciting. Can we record that?
You make for a great podcast.
Yeah.
We also have with us Mr. Don Schlicks.
Hey, I noticed that Stu has a broken finger, and I'm just going to have to ask him. It's his middle finger, so I'm wondering
Ooh.
what caused you to injure your middle finger?
Mystery.
You don't
Stu?
flip off Will Smith.
That's a good point. I heard that.
Yeah.
And somebody celebrated a birthday.
Hey-o, 25, a big 2-5.
Johnny Knobs is 25. Wow, you're old. You're an old man now.
I turned 25 yesterday.
Wow.
It's a big one. Yep.
You don't look a day over.
You don't look a day over 40.
You know, I'm realizing, I
62.
think the Beatles got together and just thought of like, what we need to write a song for the future for any possible occasion, so everybody will play our music, and they just wrote.
That's say it's your birthday. Everybody does that.
Yeah.
Everybody sings that.
But yeah, they planned
Yeah.
it.
They also have When I'm 64,
Yeah.
because when I'm 64, I'll be playing that song.
Yep.
Yeah.
They also have Rocky Raccoon for when you adopt a raccoon.
And when you're in a yellow submarine, because everybody at least once gets
They
in a
just
yellow
never knew.
submarine.
They didn't know what the future was going to be like.
No. Well,
So
maybe
they
they
just-
did. Maybe
That's
they
right.
did.
That's right.
And when you turn 9, there's always number 9.
Number 9.
Number
White
nine.
Album.
Number
Paul
nine.
is dead. Paul
Number
is dead.
9.
Yeah.
Do
Turn
you guys
Me On,
ever
Dead
listen
Man.
to that
Yeah.
backwards?
Turn Me On, Dead Man. That's what it says.
I used to be. I was like way into like, what does it mean?
Do you guys believe in
Psychos.
that backwards masking stuff?
I believe there's a bunch of bands who did it for fun.
Okay.
Yeah, to mess with people. Because there is. I mean, if you play records backwards on those old ones, there's weird stuff. But I don't think it's like demonic,
You
stuff
don't
like
think their language like there's a language backwards and it means something? You don't think?
no, that's BS. No?
Huh.
No, I don't buy that.
Wow.
Language backwards?
Yeah, like because that's what they do, right? They play the songs backwards or the lyrics backwards when they're speaking them, and then there's something that comes across.
There's
Now,
also people who will play a speech backwards. They'll
Yeah.
get the speech, play it backwards, and pick out certain sections because subconsciously you're saying what you really mean.
yeah. See, that's what I mean. There is a science to it, right?
It's a pseudoscience, but
yes.
it's a science.
Or
yeah.
do you think they're just full of bull and people?
Oh,
It's kind of like when
bullable.
people are just hearing what they want to
Yeah,
hear.
you
or-
play anything backwards, you're gonna hear sounds. They're like, "Oh, that could be this word," or
Because I saw a YouTube video where they will tell you what you visually see is what you're going to hear, and they will have the same sound but two different meanings of what it says, and you will hear each meaning or each thing said depending on what you're reading. Or even if they tell you, like, I got this EVP from this ghost, this electronic voice phenomenon from a ghost, and it says this, and it goes, and if you hear it, it's saying shop at Starbucks, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I do know, though, there has been some music and film that they will record backwards and then play it forwards. So they'll have to figure out like what the word sounds like backwards, right? And then they say it backwards, and then you play it, and it comes out forwards. But
they did that in the movie. Didn't they do that in the movie Top Secret?
Yeah, Top Secret. It's
there was a whole scene that they played that they did backwards.
Including speaking backwards.
And then they played it forwards.
I freaking love that movie.
Yeah.
Really good stuff. But guys, we got a lot to get through.
Long show.
Yes. Let's do it.
This is a very special episode of the Fresno Focus Radio Hour.
Yeah, and we got to start with a recap of Don's poll.
Here we go.
Don's legs.
It's time.
Got a big poll for you.
For the poll now.
Read that
my poll.
He's got the poll now.
Go poll.
He's got the poll.
Vote on that poll.
Vote on my poll.
Did you vote on that poll? I voted on that poll.
Me too.
Vote on the poll.
I did.
All right. We had... Oh, here it comes.
The break. We got to wait for the break.
Yeah. Break it down. Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's a great piece of music. We had last week a very special fatherhood episode celebrating the soon-to-be born baby girl from Maxwell. He's going to be a first-time father.
That's right.
So we gave him some fatherly advice, and we created a poll. We wanted to know who is the best TV dad of all time.
We want to thank you all for voting. Of course, anytime, remember to vote on the polls. They're always located at nofocusradio.com. You can vote on the polls.
Yep. So we have...
In dead last, there was a tie.
Cornhole? Are we going to do the cornhole?
We do cornhole rules.
Scoring?
Cornhole rules.
What's that?
So you get positive or negative.
They even out.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
So, for example, one of the choices was Mike Brady. He has some positives, but he also has some negatives, and he has more negatives than positives.
Yep.
So he has a total score of -2.
-2.
Yes.
Oh, Mike.
-2, Mike
Here's
Brady.
a story.
Yeah. So last place.
A guy who lost it.
Last place, Mr. Mike Brady and Homer Simpson
No!
tied.
Coming in with -2?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep. That was -2.
Not Homer.
Now, they are the only ones with negative points.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah. But then following that, we have...
Is that Carl Winslow?
No, that's Mr. Frank Costanza.
What did he get?
So he's
I can't
coming
see
in
it
third.
down
He
there.
came in at 0.
Oh, 0.
He got some negatives and some positives.
Man.
Yep.
0. I can't believe it.
And,
Festivus is canceled.
So does that put him in 4th place then?
we had A, B, C, D, E, F. So we had
counting
we had
how many
2.
fingers?
We had 2, and then to put him in 5th place.
He's in 5th right
He's
now.
A strong 5th place.
Strong 5th
right.
place. And then we had a fan favorite, or maybe 4th. I don't know how to count. Right here.
No, wait a minute. Scroll down. Are you sure? Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the
Who
one.
is it, Don? Let us know.
It
Dr.
is
Huxtable came in with +4.
Dr. Huxtable.
right.
Positive 4, man. I mean, he's going to
I
be
can't believe he
sponsoring
got
Jello
that.
pudding again.
I know. I can't believe he
The
got that
Jello
many.
pudding cup now.
He was
right.
good. I mean, he was. Listen, that
Roofies for
show.
everybody.
Yep.
Following a favorite TV dad, we have Mr. Danny Tanner.
Danny Tanner.
Oh,
Danny
yes.
Tanner.
Positive 5 points for Danny Tanner.
R.I.P.
I did read that he was left out of the memorial section of the Oscars.
He was.
Him and a couple, Ed
Why?
Asner of
Yeah.
all people, and
Ed Asner.
and
Yeah.
Norm Macdonald, which I will put my foot down.
Oh,
Norm should have
are you
been
serious?
in there.
Yeah, but you know why, though?
Because they're lame.
They died too soon.
Well,
Oscars
in the
are lame.
in the words of
Too close to the
well, I don't
Oscars?
know why, but I do remember the Golden Globes 2020 with
Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Gervais.
Yes.
He said that they had given him a in memoriam segment, but he said I'm gonna skip that because it wasn't diverse enough. So I'm just not going to play that for you guys. And you're welcome. He said there's too many white people. Too many white people. So I don't know. I don't know why they didn't include Norm Macdonald, Bob Saget. But what's sad is those two guys were good friends too.
They were. They were lifelong buddies. Yeah.
Anyways,
Okay.
first place.
First place.
This is the first place finisher.
First place finisher.
Oh, it's Carl Winslow.
Yeah. Great dad.
Positive. He was a great dad.
He's a great dad.
Raising Eddie and little Eddie.
What show was this from again?
Dealing with
Family
Urkel.
Matters. He had to deal with
Family
Urkel
Matters.
and Urkel.
TGI Friday.
Even when Urkel became cool and became Urkel, he was there for him.
Yeah. I want to meet that dad. That's right. It's true.
What is this?
Are you ready, kids? Do-do-do-do.
This is for all those dads.
Now slap your hands.
Yeah.
Now spread those wings. Do-do-do-do. Feather your bangs. Shake your buns. That's nice. Now think about your dad. What's your dad like?
Yeah.
I want to meet that dad. Slap your face. Slap your friend. Get sexy, kids. Do-do-do-do. Stinks in here. Smells like meat. Rotten meat.
Oh my gosh.
That's right.
Where's this going?
I want to meet that dad. It's a great song. I want to meet that dad.
Oh wow! We were in for a treat there.
Congratulations to Carl Winslow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I want to meet that dad.
Just for the audience, that was not Carl Winslow singing.
No. But I know why he won. He was in Die Hard.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
He was a good dad.
He was an awesome dad. I love it.
Speaking
Buying
of-
his wife some Twinkies.
I don't want to get off track, but have you heard the sad news about Mr. Die Hard, Bruce Willis himself?
Yes,
Yeah.
that is actually
No,
very
what
sad
happened?
news.
I did not hear it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is suffering from aphasia, which means he's losing the loss of being able to really use and understand language.
Yes, which
Are
is
you
hard for an
serious?
actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he is officially retiring from acting.
It's sad.
No
He's in his
way.
mid-60s.
He's still a great actor too.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching him, and
Yeah,
he
Yep.
does
he's
action
awesome.
roles
He's
very
great.
well.
I love him. He's funny. He is great in any movie he's ever been in. I think.
Yeah, he's likable. He's a likable.
They're very
character.
likable
Yeah.
in in real life and on film. And it is sad because it's not quite like
Alzheimer's.
like dementia or Alzheimer's. It's just more like that part of your brain that understands and computes language is fading. It can happen
It's
with a
just
stroke. It can
closing
happen
down.
from head injuries. It can happen from just cognitive
Some sort of brain damage
yeah,
that causes it.
or just like they don't know why. It could just happen.
Degenerative
yeah.
situation. Wow.
So
I did not hear that.
He's still, he's a dad. He's got lots of kids, and
So when you say,
sad.
Bruce Willis, how are you? And he says, Moo Moo Dog Face Nana Patch.
Yeah.
He's just saying he's
I'm
fine.
actually almost fairly sure, legitimately, that I have anomic aphasia, which is, and Justin can probably back me up on this. This is a real disorder where you cannot remember the names of people correctly. And I think I've struggled with this my entire life. Yeah, names.
he's pretty bad at names.
Like, I think it's a legitimate, like, I will struggle so hard. And I was like, oh, this
He'll
is
get like one letter stuck, and it'll be like there's like a K in this person's name.
But are you talking about like when you're trying to think of somebody you've just met? I mean,
no,
obviously-
even like, I kid you not, even you.
Really?
Yeah, like, I don't know if you guys have probably noticed this legitimate thing. When I'm introducing, I'll say, the doorman. And then I'm like, and we have with us Marty Stupidasso. I'm always trying to remember
Really?
all of your names. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's really terrible.
Are you sure? Are you sure that's not COVID brain?
It's my whole
he's
life.
really that
Your whole
for-
I'm
life.
really that bad. Yeah, it's a terrible.
Because I have a hard time just remembering names, like when you meet people
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff.
I
Yeah.
do
pretty
too,
normal.
unless I really make an effort. Because if I make an association a way of associating your name with you, something about the way you look or something like that. It helps immensely.
I look like a door. I do look like a door.
Yeah, you got that
I
doorman
got a big
look.
knob nose. And But I mean, I have that.
And
I have
Johnny
that,
Knobs has that knob of a nose. Big knobs
I
on
have
the side
that
of his
too,
head.
where you get that block. You know, you'll try to think of like an actor or this or something, a name, and you just can't do it.
My problem
But
is
that's not the same.
My problem is when somebody has a name that is like. We had one. We had a
Taekwondo Nisha.
Pro Sam. It's happening now. We had somebody on the show with the name Elisa, but there's also a name Alyssa. And sometimes if I first think your name is Alyssa and then I second guess myself, well, no, it's Elisa.
Yeah.
I'll never remember it.
Yeah, for the rest of your life, you don't know which one it is.
I don't know if it's Alyssa or
confused.
Elisa or because I can't trust myself.
Well, I have a friend named it's either Lloyd or Floyd. I couldn't tell you because I try to remember by saying like, oh, it's just like Christopher Lloyd, but it's not, and I don't remember which one it is. But every time I see him, it's like, is it Lloyd or is it Floyd or is it maybe it's Christopher. Oh, wait, what is it? And Bree has to remember every single time. It's terrible. And I'm like, and then I start like thinking, Back to the Future name. And
Marty.
Then, I can't figure it out. Yeah.
I have that, but there's also one with face where people don't have good facial recognition.
Yeah.
Oh,
Brad
I
Pitt
don't have
claims
that.
to have that. It has
Really?
a name, and it's like face blindness. Like you look at people's faces and it's hard to distinguish between faces.
Oh, interesting.
That's really interesting.
I don't know if that's true for him or if he just claims that so he can be an asshole to people and
It's called prosopagnosia.
Yeah.
You cannot recognize people's faces. I think he's full of it. I don't buy that because he's an actor. He doesn't walk around sets and calling people. Yeah, it's good so he can be an asshole. You're right.
I didn't recognize you, sir. I didn't say hi.
Yeah. Actually, I think I have prosopagnosia as well.
Really? Nice.
Sure do. Speaking of prosopagnosia.
Great segue.
Yeah. Have you guys had any good meat recently?
Good night, everybody.
Okay. I found this article. It's a local article from, was it on the Fresno Bee?
This is on
YourCentralValley.com.
YourCentralValley.com.
And but they rank the best steaks in town. Fresno is a good food town. People might scoff at that if you're from like the Bay Area or Southern California, but it's true. There's plenty of good restaurants here. So they've ranked the best steaks in town, and we're going to go through these. I disagree with some of these.
When was this written?
This was written 17 minutes ago.
2 weeks
2 weeks ago.
Okay,
2 weeks
2 weeks ago.
One of the things I talked with someone about their steaks, and they say that everything's changed at that restaurant, and they're not happy with it.
which one?
Yosemite Ranch.
Oh,
which is
way.
number one on that list, I believe.
They
offensive.
supplier couldn't get the same
No, they
supplier?
just redid the entire interior. They redid their entire menu, and he says their meat is crap. But that's one guy's opinion.
That could also be a supply
can't-
chain issue.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I can't substantiate that. But I trust his opinion, and he was not happy with it.
Interesting.
our
But you
cows
came
come
in
from
here
China?
saying that you had a good steak
Our
recently.
pork
I
does.
did. I went to Prime 13.
Okay, I've
had the
been there
coffee
once.
rub
Yeah.
steak,
Ooh.
$75.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, I
Might as
know.
well gas
Hold
that
on, let
much.
me wait. Time out. We
Jeez.
got to put this in here. You're saying that your restaurant pick of the week is Prime
Yep, just
Prime
spelled like
13.
that.
It's a great restaurant if you
Prime
got the
13.
13.
It's
Where are
on
they at?
Willow, and you're gonna ask. It's on Willow and Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's a really fancy restaurant.
Yeah, but it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Is
Yeah,
this
like-
something new? Is it a newer one over in that
it's been
area?
there probably 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, but it's hidden
Oh,
away.
okay.
You know, it's just right by Pendragon.
Rocket Dog? Oh.
Rocket Dog's out of there now.
Oh, is it?
But it was right by
yes, but
Pendragon.
that same area. Yes.
Yeah.
And so we went there and we had a $75 steak. It was extraordinarily good. It was a coffee rub steak, very good. All the food there is good. The drinks are good. And then we went over to Grog's and drank, and then we were just drunk the rest.
And you were out of it.
Yeah.
Did how does the interior look?
It's fancy. It's
pretty.
like
It's
blue.
kinda like- you would
and-
think it was
and
in LA or
silver.
something.
Yeah.
Because
it's
it's
really
kind of like
nice.
got that strip mall vibe, so when stuff
Outside,
goes in
yeah.
there,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
the
like-
inside's very nice. It's
Is it?
they did it very well. It's very
Good,
nice,
okay.
Nice little
It does.
restaurant
It
to
feels
go to.
fancy. You feel like.
But-
Okay, so let's get
go there if you're ready to spend some money.
But they're not on this list, I don't think.
They
No.
are. They
Oh,
are on that list.
They are on
They
the list?
are. Okay.
Yep.
I
Let's
didn't
look
see
at this
them.
list. Let's count them down.
Let's get back to the
There's
list.
nothing better than list radio.
Yes.
Yes, let's count down the list. Here we
All
go.
right, here we
Here
go.
we go.
Number 16. Ooh, this is controversial.
This is controversial.
This is a good restaurant. They have
Yeah.
them rated 16. Max's Bistro and Bar.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll tell you why I find this very controversial.
Why?
Because they have it rated below the next number 15, which is TGI Fridays.
That is
That
crazy.
can't be right. That
is
can't be
crazy.
right.
Who's making this list?
Well, look at the
Some.
rating. TGI Fridays gets 3.5 stars. Max's gets 4.5 stars.
I don't understand that.
Me neither.
Maybe that's a typo
And
somewhere.
see, Max has had more reviews too.
Yeah,
the
I would say
37.
TGI Fridays is probably cheaper, but probably not by much, to be honest. They charge you a lot for steak no matter where you go, I feel like. All right, so 15, TGI Fridays. Number 14 is one I've never been to.
You never been there?
You never been to the Steak and Anchor?
By the
Steak and
airport.
Anchor. Oh, I have been there.
They're closed all the time.
I got a good story about
Steak
that
and
place.
Anchor Restaurant and Lounge.
Yes, I
it's
do.
in the Piccadilly. Is that
Yep,
correct?
it's in this
Okay,
old
by the
hotel,
airport.
yeah.
I have been there.
Yep. Smells like
So here's the
do we
story.
have time for the story?
Yeah, real quick. So me and my friends went out drinking. My wife doesn't drink that much, and this is when she discovered that Long Island iced tea has no iced tea in
No,
it.
it's just, yeah.
So she drank a lot
All
of it.
the alcohol.
And so she goes to our friend and goes, "I'm going to be sick."
Oh, no.
And so she's walking out, and before she even gets out of the restaurant, she pukes.
Oh, no.
And then she pukes again in the hallway, and then goes out to the bathroom because the bathroom isn't in the restaurant. You got to go out into the hotel.
Yeah.
And the waiter comes up pissed and he
Yeah.
goes, "Your friend needs to learn to control her drinking." And she goes, I thought really quick and said, "It's morning sickness. She's pregnant, and she just found out a little while ago." He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. Here's some free drinks."
Yeah.
She came back. Everyone was really nice to her and everything. She goes, "What's going on?" She goes, and the guy I was with said, "Your husband's a genius."
Wait.
Good job.
Did they keep on giving your wife free drinks?
No, they didn't
even though
give her
she had
free
morning
drinks.
sickness. Morning
No, no.
sickness. Here's some
They
more
were
free
giving-
drinks.
They were
Oh,
giving
she's
us
pregnant.
free
Here you
drinks,
go.
and they were like, they comped her an appetizer and stuff.
Wow.
Said, "Are you
That's
feeling
good.
better now?" Okay.
I got to write that down.
Yeah,
just
I'm gonna
found
use
it
that
really quick 'cause I didn't want to say, "Oh yeah,
myself,
my wife's
Yeah.
freaking drunk."
All right.
That's
13
funny.
on the list, Texas de Brazil. Haven't been
I
there
haven't
yet.
been there. I heard
No.
good things about it though.
Yeah, try it out. Okay.
Sizzler.
Sizzler.
What?
That should not be on this list.
Number 12, man.
Unless
How
this
is
is
that?
1987, Sizzler should not be on this
I don't know,
list.
guys. Have
The
you
herb
had
chicken.
though? Have you had their dino-shaped chicken nuggets?
Oh my
Oh,
god,
yeah, that
those
is
are
good.
the
Those
best.
are,
Sizzler?
yes, thank
No,
you.
never,
Number
never
one.
had 'em.
Really?
No, never had them.
Oh, doorman, you're missing out, buddy.
I
I
know.
didn't even know there was still one open here. 13, Prime Steak. That's number 11.
Yep.
All right, Marty's
13
All right, there
Prime.
it is. There it is.
Team Prime.
What? They're not even open.
Logan's. Logan's Roadhouse. You're right. They closed down, right?
Yeah.
they
what?
closed
How
down.
old is this
thing
list?
Yeah.
It's 2 weeks old.
It's been so long that they've actually torn Logan's down. They built another restaurant and they've opened it since, right? That Cane's Chicken, whatever it's
Oh,
called.
is that there now? Okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
You ever been to the Cane's Chicken Raising Cane?
No.
My
Raising
wife
not
went
that great.
and said it was not good.
Not
The
good.
line's
Yeah, I agree.
too long
Yeah.
for me
What
to
about
try it.
But I-
Chick-fil-A
we went-
compared to Chick-fil-A?
I
no,
like
no.
Chick-fil-A better.
Is it?
We went there because me and my son noticed there was no line. We went in, got the things, tried it. Oh, this is going to be great. This is just crap. It's just chicken
Wow.
strips.
Just like
That's all it
heated
is.
They
up in
got
a microwave.
such good hype, though, man.
I know.
The one
Oh,
here
yeah.
in Clovis, there's like a 50-minute wait.
We
Wow.
need a Shake Shack. That's what we need.
Shake Shack's all
I
right.
love Shake Shack with the burgers and that's what we need. All right, number 9. Richard's Prime Rib
That's
and
good.
Seafood.
They're good.
Okay, it's been and it's in the movies.
Yeah.
Famous
Yeah.
from the movies.
Yeah.
Number 8, Manhattan Steakhouse
That's
and Bar.
good.
That's been
Been
there
there
for a
a few
long time.
times.
Yeah,
Yes.
Manhattan.
Another
old
Had
school.
good food there.
Number 7, another closed down restaurant.
Did
Does
they
this not
close?
exist anymore out there on Shaw?
think
No,
the
they-
Outback
They're still there on Shaw, right?
by Fresno State?
No,
No,
the
you're
one
thinking of Black Angus.
West Shaw.
Oh shoot,
Black
dude! I don't know
Angus,
where
yeah.
Outback
Yeah,
is anymore.
Outback.
Sorry.
You know what?
Remember where the old Tahoe Joe's was? It's across the street, or
Oh,
what?
from the old Chuck E. Cheese.
From
Yeah, in that area.
Not quite in that
Yeah.
area, but not quite
Yeah.
that far. Yeah.
Okay, 7,
I know
Outback
the old
Steak.
Chuck E.
We are bad. We're bad at list radio. We can't even get down the list. Number 7, Outback Steakhouse. I have had good steak at Outback.
And they're blooming onions.
They're blooming
Yeah.
onions, Mike.
Number 6.
It's Australian for steak.
I've never heard of this place. Number 6, Joe's Steakhouse and Grill.
You don't know about Joe's?
You never heard of Joe's?
That's in downtown Fresno. They also closed down.
Okay.
I don't know them.
Did they really?
Yeah, you guys never really been to Joe's?
No, never.
Joe's was a classic. Joe's was a open in downtown Fresno like 50 years ago. You guys would know it if I showed it. No, Joe's. Get out
Not
of
Tahoe
here.
Joe's.
Tahoe Joe's.
What's wrong with you?
He's looking on the internet. Tahoe Joe's.
I'll show you. You guys
interference.
are telling me you never saw this place downtown.
Okay, yeah, I've seen it.
It looks
I've
like a
never been in
Happy
there.
Steak. Looked like an old Happy Steak.
Now,
I've
man,
never seen
Joe's
it.
was killer, man. Me and a friend of the show, Austin Waltz, we had a couple journeys down to Joe's Steakhouse.
Hey,
in our
that's where Screwballs
olden
was, right?
days.
Isn't that where Screwballs?
Yeah, it was near Screwballs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Screwballs
So,
Comedy Club. Ray Appleton
Joe's
reference.
Steakhouse. It's a classic. You're sure to get a stomach ache, but classic. Yep.
But it's not there anymore?
No, they also closed down. COVID knocked them out of the.
So
out of
this
the
list
count.
was really,
game.
really
Steak and
timely. It's a good
laxatives.
job by the person who wrote this list.
Number 5.
Number 5, Tahoe Joe's. I won't argue that. I've had really
Tahoe
good
Joe's is
steak at
good.
Tahoe
Yeah,
Joe's.
yeah.
In the past, they're hit and miss.
I don't know. I haven't been there in a long time, but I have had. So I will tell you this. I went to one of the most famous steak places in West Texas. And it was in some movies, and the person who took me there was like, "You will never have better steak in your life. Like this is the steak place to go to get steak in West Texas."
Famous last words.
I took a bite. I've had better steak at Tahoe Joe's. That's what I told them. And
no
it was true.
kidding.
Yeah, yep.
Wow, they kick you
It's
out.
because they give you the mountain mashers. That's probably why. Did they give you mountain mashers in
And the
Texas?
cheesecake.
I'll tell you
On
why.
the
I'll
camp
tell you
shrimp.
why.
Oh, so good.
Shrimp. Their shrimp. What's that called? Railroad camp shrimp.
Camp shrimp, yeah.
I'll tell you what about Tahoe Joe's makes it good is you get in and they give you those sourdough rolls.
Yes.
Those set the mood for
We
the
gotta do a
rest of
show
the
from
dinner.
Tahoe
See, that's
Joe's.
why I think Raising Cane is so
mood, man.
popular, is because they give you
bread,
this Texas
huh?
bread, and it's sweet, kind of like the old Grandy's bread, you know, that they had a Grandy's.
Sugar and butter.
Yeah, and that's all. I think that's what people like.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Number 4, Cool Hand Luke's.
That's good.
It's not better than Tahoe
No.
Joe's, though.
But it's good.
It's
No,
okay. Yeah,
not a fan.
Yeah, I'm more on Doorman's side. Number 3, it's an expensive one. Ruth's Chris.
Yeah, I'm not the
Steakhouse.
king of Sheba, so I cannot eat there. They're expensive.
It is expensive. They
Got
have a happy
$4
hour
signs.
where you can get some decent food. What's the other one that's
And the
not on
rest of
this
it's
list?
sour.
The other-
Fleming's.
Fleming's. Yeah, Fleming's. I've had good food at Fleming's.
They had good food at Fleming's.
Yeah.
You know what cracks me about Ruth's? Well, what I don't like about it is because they got at the time they had the waiters that are all waiting, by the wall, and the minute, it looks like you need something, they're like running over real quick.
Yeah.
No, can I help you? Can I get it? And I'm like, hey, just chill out. Let me have my dinner, please.
I just gotta go to the bathroom.
I don't like the name. It's confusing.
Ruth's Chris.
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very confusing.
It's confusing.
They should have called it like Ruth's
What's
Chris
a Chris
Cross.
steak?
I,
What's a Chris Steakhouse or a Chris steak?
is it somebody's name?
Is that a name of a cut of a meat or something?
Because
Chris?
if his name is Ruth Chris, it should be Ruth Chris's Steakhouse.
I think it's like Ruth's son Chris Steakhouse. I don't know. I don't understand
looking
what
it
it's
up now.
called.
What does it say?
I'll find out for you. Chris Steakhouse was founded on February 27th, 1927 by New Orleans entrepreneur Chris Matalook. And then Ruth Fertel,
So they
a
combined
divorced
the
single
name.
mom who needed money to send her teenage sons to college, purchased the restaurant. So it was Ruth's.
So it's Ruth's
Chris Steakhouse.
Okay, that makes sense. Now. Thank you for clearing that up, man.
Yeah.
Ruth bought the
could
Chris
sleep at night.
Steakhouse.
Yeah.
It's
You know
her
what? That
steakhouse.
has not
Chris Steakhouse.
totally changed my
Ruth's
mind about
Chris
this.
Steakhouse.
No, it's
Okay.
still a bad name.
Well, I like it better now. At least I understand it. Thanks
Ruth's
to you and
Chris
all of our listeners.
Steakhouse.
Enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Max's. I can't even think of anything that dumb.
Pads.
They
Yeah.
should have just called it Ruth's Steakhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Whatever. I don't care.
Okay,
Move on,
number
move
two.
on.
Number 2, I agree with this. This has good steak. Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, they actually have their own butcher.
They do.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's good.
Really? No, they have the
Way
fried
out on
pickles,
West
right?
Shaw. A lot of people have fried pickles.
No,
these
but I
days.
think they kind of came in. It was like a big deal. Fried pickles.
Big
at the
fried
time,
pickle fan.
When they
Is
opened
it that
up.
way you got to throw the peanuts on the
Yeah,
ground?
yes.
I love anywhere I
No,
can
that-
throw peanuts
what,
on the
at
ground.
Roadhouse?
There too, yes. And the other place I got tore down.
Well, so you know what happened to Logan's? I think this place better stop the peanuts shells on the floor.
What do they have? Rats?
Huh?
Rats?
No, I don't know. I'm just saying Logan's closed down, and they used to be able
Hey,
to throw
Marty, I
peanuts
want to
on
let
the
you know
floor.
you can throw peanut floors on out here, just so you know.
You're gonna have to
Peanut
clean them up. It's not the same when you
Yeah, I
make me clean
definitely.
them.
Yeah,
It's bad enough you make me do the toilets when we're done, but
He was throwing soda all over. Does that count?
Yeah, now I got to clean up this also.
It's all sticky now.
Texas Roadhouse, solid choice. Number 1, Yosemite Ranch with Marty and his friend Disparaged.
It's okay.
Well, no,
I've never been.
my friend said it was not as good as it used to be since they changed the menu.
I'm gonna bring up, but God, I'm having COVID
What
brain
about
so bad right now.
Westwoods isn't on this
No,
list?
the place that Limelight, I nailed it.
Oh, yeah,
Limelight
That
is
was good.
so good. It's the best steak in town. And if you want to go somewhere closer to Clovis and kind of a fun, cool atmosphere,
500 Club.
500
That's
Club.
my favorite steak.
Very good,
Yeah,
very good.
500 Club is the best kept secret for steak and real good food.
Really?
We
Man.
shouldn't be talking about it if we want to keep it a secret.
Yeah, guys,
It's very good.
don't go there.
Yeah, don't go there. It's horrible.
Don't go there.
It's
Terrible,
really good.
terrible food. The worst,
300,000 listeners, don't tell anybody.
the worst gin and tonics I've ever had. The best gin and tonics in the world. Seriously, go. I love the 500 Club.
Yeah,
Good place.
it's very
Wow.
good.
Yeah.
Good.
Should we roll into our next food story?
Yeah, so we got a couple food stories here. We just talked best steak. However, we have another really important one. What about the best Italian restaurants?
I thought we were going birthday cake. Since it was
Definitely
somebody's
not.
Well,
the
this
old
is
spaghetti
also
factory.
according to TripAdvisor.
advisor. I don't even know what that
So
means.
there's 21 of these. Should I just roll through these really quick?
Yes.
Marty, do you want to roll through them really quick?
I do not. I can't even see that far.
Okay, I'll do it. We got 21 Michelangelo's Pizzeria.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's the one in Clovis, am I
Oh,
right?
it's terrible. I've had that food. It was terrible.
Number 20, Da Chico's on Clovis Avenue.
Downtown one's better.
Number 19, Piazza del Pane, Italian cafe.
Never heard of it.
Number 8, you never heard of Piazza? Number 18, Olive Garden, Italian kitchen.
Heard of it.
Number
It's okay.
17, Andiamo's. I'm a big fan of Andiamo's.
I haven't heard of it.
I like them. They're right there on Clovis, on Shaw, in between Sunnyside and Clovis Avenue.
Okay.
Good little place. Number 16, another Piazza del Pane.
Oh, that's like a chain, right?
Number 15,
One
it's
just
a
closed down,
chain
though.
that's owned by me and Ed's, the Milano Corporation.
okay.
Number 15, another Da Chico's.
That's the one on Blackstone. That's downtown. That's the best.
Number 15, Piemonte.
I love Piemonte's, and they have the meatball sandwich that I love.
I
Love
like the meatball.
Good
Oh my
meatball
God,
sandwich.
it's fantastic.
Meatball sandwich. Number 13, Mike's Pizzeria off of a Northwest Avenue in Fresno. Number 12, apparently Andiamo's.
Again, it's so good it made it twice.
It's literally the same one, the same
Literally the
address.
same location. Oh my God.
Wow.
So number
That's a
17.
different picture.
These lists are poured over with great
care.
care, before they're
detail.
released.
Number 11, Oggi Così si mangia.
This place is good. It's in the tower.
Yeah,
The tower.
I've had great food twice.
And bad food,
The
yes.
worst food of my life the
Yes,
third
it's
time.
happened.
Really?
It happens.
Bree and my, we went there for our first date.
Okay.
I took her to OG, yeah. And we
That's
had.
where I took her
worked
for our
out
first
well,
date
though.
too.
Did you?
Yeah.
So Bree and I went to, Marty looks so confused.
There's a story here.
So we went here for our first date, and it was our first date, so we both didn't eat that much because we were just like,
didn't wanna get
we were
gassy.
like nervous,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So it was like, fuck you. We assumed it was great food. I don't know. We went there again, and 1 year later, on our first date anniversary.
Oh.
And her food wasn't that good, and I had ordered a calamari steak, right? And Bree doesn't like. Bree doesn't like seafood, but I love calamari steak. So I was like, just try it. It's not fishy. Like, it's really good. I hadn't tried it first. They just sat it down. I gave her the first bite, and she was like, no. And I was like, come on, it's not that bad. It's just calamari steak. Then I took a bite. It was full on rotten.
Are you serious?
Just tasted like the inside of like a salmon's guts that
Oh
you just
my
like.
gosh.
It was so bad, and poor Bree's like,
I know. Scarred for life now.
I gotta be honest.
how could he like
the
this?
picture that they show has empty water glasses, and that salmon looks like it's been sitting on that table for 17
the person
hours.
is eating the rice and they're all around it because they don't want to touch it.
Yeah.
That's not good. Number 10, we have Cosmopolitan Tavern. I like the old Cosmo. I don't like the new Cosmo. I like the old one. Oh, Videos Italian. That's a little fun little secret out there on Bullard, West Bullard out there.
Never been.
It's been around for a
never been.
long time. I checked that place out. Pretty good. Number 8, Bella
Bella
Pasta.
I like Bella Pasta.
Bella Pasta's good.
Yeah, we're all Bella Pasta fans here in
Yeah.
the room. Number 7.
Another Olive Garden.
Another Olive
A
Garden.
different one though. This is a
Number
different-
6, Marty.
No way.
Marty's favorite.
Marty
Old
just
Spaghetti
came.
Factory.
I just
Marty
came from there.
Marty just came from a delicious dinner.
No, the
at
food
number
was
6.
horrible.
Oh.
Horrible.
If Old Spaghetti Factory is the 6th best Italian restaurant in your town,
We're in trouble.
we are. We need to move. That is
my
sad.
God.
So me and my wife went to the little kids' party, and then we ate our food. We walked out to the car, and we both said almost in unison, "That was the worst Italian food I've ever had in my life."
really?
The service was horrible, and it was not good.
I hate the people that. Well, you know what's good is they have a name for it, and it's literally pasta with butters and like Parmesan cheese, but they call it something fancy there.
Yeah.
Like I can make you that. Like that's
Oh yeah,
not something
people
you should pay
do
money
love that.
for.
People do
Yeah.
love that. They're like, "Oh, I love the buttered fettuccine or whatever." And I'm like, "Oh, you mean the butter with Parmesan cheese?" Okay, number 5.
It is 5.
Yeah, the restaurant.
I
Five.
think they did that on purpose.
I like 5.
5's good.
Number 4, another DeChico.
Which one is this? Which location is that? The
Number
location's
look
very
at
important.
the,
Number 4, the Shaw location.
The Shaw. It's
Oh,
okay.
gross.
Look at
Number
the provocative Luna's
Yeah.
picture.
Oh wait,
I like Luna's. Luna's is up there for me.
Luna's is great.
Yeah, Luna's.
Yep,
Nice
Luna's
people.
solid. Number 2, Parma. Parma's
Been there
number 2.
once. It was good. It was a long time
I'm
ago.
not a huge fan of Parma. I'd rather go to Bella Pasta.
Yeah, they're
which is
same
the
parking lot.
same parking
Yeah,
lot.
me too.
That's weird, huh?
Yeah, and then
Right
number
there.
1, the Annex
Ooh,
Kitchen.
Annex.
Annex is
Kitchen.
good.
They're
Annex,
good.
I had it like 3 times in a row. It was amazing, and then the last 2 times it was like pretty good.
Pretty good.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do we think? Now you go around. Best Italian restaurant in Fresno. Don, go.
I gotta go with my main man, Bella Pasta.
Yeah, Bella Pasta. Okay. Yeah.
I got to go DeChico's.
Which one?
Well, that's the thing. I would say the one off of Cedar and Knees.
Okay.
Which I think
I've
is the
had
same
Knees.
one that's in Madera because they taste similar. That's the thing with DeChico's.
They're
Depending on where you
they're
go,
family owned, and which
they're-
are depending
it's
on which
totally
family
different.
member owns it.
It's
yeah.
totally different.
Remember there was a
It's not the same.
Sal's and Bobby Salazar's?
Yeah,
And they were
yeah.
kind of related, but not. They were, yeah, it's kind of the same thing.
But Sal's was better than
Yeah.
Bobby Salazar's,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
my opinion. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go with the DeChico's on Blackstone downtown.
Ooh.
That's the
Blackstone
best.
and Shields? Or is there a different
No, it's further down.
Okay, wow. There's one on Blackstone and Shields, or there used
Yeah.
to be.
But I don't even think it's on Blackstone. I don't know. It's because Blackstone divides up.
Yeah.
But it's the one. It's the furthest one south. The furthest one.
I don't know if
furthest
I've been to that
downtown.
one.
Yeah, my
I've
buddy
been-
Vince swears by that one. He
Yeah,
went there
that's
for one of his
the best.
birthdays. It was
Yeah.
good.
That was, I think I've been there one time, yeah.
It's a little hole in the wall. It's nice, but it's its own little standalone building, so it's pretty neat. I like it.
And,
I went to a great place this weekend. We should put it on our notes. South of Shaw. It's a
yeah.
new, great place to go hang out. It's downtown Fresno, and they fixed up this old building. I think we talked about it.
Talked about it on the show.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I tried it out with some friends on Saturday night.
called South of Shaw
South
Brewery?
of Shaw. It's a
brewery.
brewery. They have great beer. They make their own beer. They have other beer. It was fantastic. I don't like IPAs. I couldn't get enough of their IPA. It was so good. It was a hazy IPA.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Full Circle make a really good IPA.
Yeah.
Normally, I don't like IPA. It has to be well balanced. But if they have a good IPA, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a great atmosphere. They did a great job fixing up this building. And the kicker is not only do they have great beer, they have fantastic pizza. That's the only thing on their menu.
yeah.
You go and there's like 6 different types of like really good pizza. So there were 4 of us. We each got our own pizza, and we almost ate all 4 pizzas. It was that good.
gosh.
Wow.
Yeah. I highly recommend checking out South of Shaw.
So it's South of Shaw, and where is it again, roughly?
South of Shaw.
It's downtown. I don't know street
Downtown
names
Fresno?
downtown. Yeah, downtown Fresno.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Now, was that your Italian food pick?
So I was gonna mention it that it's not on that list. It's brand new, but
Yeah.
if you want good pizza, if you just want pizza, I would recommend going there. It's
Okay.
really good. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but my Italian pick is also Bella Pasta because
Bella
my
Pasta,
man
nice.
Fabian, friend of the show.
Yeah.
Fabian,
Ah.
he'll take care of you when you go in. Just mention
My
the No
favorite thing
Focus
is they
Radio
have
Hour.
a pork shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
Obusco, something like
So
that.
good.
It's got like feta cheese on
Yeah,
it.
wow.
It's so good.
I'm also what I like about that place is I don't eat a lot of just pasta, so I like to go in there and I'll just order a big plate of meatballs, and
Oh,
they will
interesting.
legitimately just serve me a giant plate.
Really? Is
full
that on
of meatballs?
Is that on the meat? Is that on the menu, or is that something? You
No,
have to
no.
special-
I just kind of went
You
in
just
there
ask?
and was like, you know what? Can I get just a plate of meatballs? And they're like, well, how many? And I said, I don't know. How big
A
are
plate-
they?
plate
And they were
full.
like this big, and I was like, I don't know, 20.
20.
They just served me 20 meatballs. It's fantastic.
How many can you fit in your mouth
Oh,
at one
that's
time?
great.
2. You know,
Well, no, that's
really all you
the thing.
need.
that's all you need.
When you go into a place and you ask for something like that, and they're like, "Sure," I mean that you don't hear that anymore from
Yeah,
people.
they were just
They're
no
like,
problem.
What? You got to do off the menu. It's like,
Yeah.
no, yeah, whatever you want, we'll
Yeah,
get it
just
to
a
you.
plate of
That's
meatballs.
awesome. Yeah.
So If you ever need 20 meatballs, it's the place to go.
Who doesn't? Yeah.
Just ask them for anything when you go in there. Tell them the No Focus sent you.
I put this story on here because it's another local story supposedly, and it was Max's birthday. So happy birthday, Max!
Thank you very much.
They wanted to find the best grocery store birthday cake.
And these are all like the classic yellow cake with the white frosting and the sprinkles.
So it's the same type of cake from each place.
Although they don't rank them, do they?
No, but we can go through some of the bottom lines here. So for Walmart,
Okay.
they say if you're looking for a great deal, and you don't mind super sweet frosting, Walmart will do the trick. If you have a Kroger in your area, which we don't, they say if the frosting is your favorite part of the cake, skip this option or try it with the chocolate frosting instead.
It doesn't look as good. The Walmart cake looks a lot better visually.
They do say the Kroger cake was nice and light, but had very little flavor.
Interesting.
Now, the Whole Foods, they said they had the highest hopes because it really looks the nicest.
that thing looks awesome.
It does look
And
pretty.
it's the most
tall and
expensive. Nice, even layers, a great ratio of cake to frosting, expert assembly, dense. Frosting was silky smooth and truly melts in your mouth.
Wow.
They said the issue was that it just tasted like a big stick of butter. Beautifully decorated,
Wow.
well assembled, but if you don't love the taste of butter, consider a different frosting.
Wow. Okay. That's disappointing.
Yeah, Winco. If you need a cake in a pinch, a pre-made option from Winco Bakery is a great
I've had Winco
choice.
cake. It's good.
Yeah, they said it was the most unexpected because they came into the store frozen, already fully frosted and assembled. However, it was easy to get past because it was shockingly light and fluffy, and it paired with a fantastic frosting. It wasn't too sweet, making it incredibly well balanced and a great deal.
Nice.
That's a heck of a
That's
review.
surprise.
Costco. If you have a Costco membership, choose this option every time.
I will agree.
The cake flavor and texture are great, and you might even have leftovers to enjoy the next day.
Yeah, the Costco, we just had one for my daughter. We got a Costco cake, and it was
So
it
it's
was
solid.
nice. It was really good. It was a solid
Sorry, we let you break your arm cake.
yeah, sorry.
That's right.
Sorry,
I'm
poor
still
thing.
mad at Costco for getting rid of their big chocolate cake. That was
Costco's
like
chocolate
8
cake.
inches high.
Had the
don't
little
have it
chocolate
anymore.
flakes on the
Yeah.
sides.
Oh, yeah.
They say Safeway, like most grocery stores, brings it in frozen and decorates them on site. Yet somehow it's light and fluffy with a texture that is unmatched. It dishes up a well-balanced, flavorful cake that won't break the bank.
right.
The verdict.
Dun, dun, dun.
It says, if a grocery store cake's of a bad rap, it's due to the sweetness level. Many grocery store cakes pack on the sugar, but not all of them do. Safeway took the crown.
Really? Vaughn's. Safeway is Vaughn's. locally.
Safeway's Vaughn's. Each bite of cake was light and fluffy and tasted entirely fresh. The frosting was balanced and wonderfully silky smooth. And the best part, it's a major brand. So it should be easy to track down in many states and find a cake for your party.
Nice.
Wow.
Thank you, Molly Allen, for that whole
And I hope she didn't get diabetes from eating all these
Did you
cakes.
just said she died of beaties?
No, I said I hope she didn't get it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, diabetes. What is beaties?
That's one thing that they had at the spaghetti factory. They had
They had beaties?
No, they had it was like a cotton candy drink for the kids.
Ugh.
Basically, it's some blue liquid with a straw with a hunk of cotton candy attached.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, my son goes, "What's that?" I go, "It's diabetes. It's what you ordered."
No
Drink
wonder
it."
when you're in there, kids are always running around like
yeah, my
maniacs.
kids were all strung out the entire time. And then why
They're just
did I
going
come
crazy.
here?
Yeah. So speaking of grocery stores,
And Save Mart, who won the cake challenge.
No,
Safeway's
that was
different.
Safeway.
Well,
Once.
Save Mart, Slave Mart. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I knew someone who worked there. This is legit. I knew somebody who worked there, and they all call it Slave Mart.
Really? Is it pretty bad?
My
or
dad
what?
used to walk around. He saw a show about Tourette's. It was like a special on 60 Minutes back in like 1989. And he thought it was the greatest thing ever, Tourette's. So he would walk around with me as a young boy and my mom and Save Mart and then go, Save Mart, say fart! Safe Mart, say fart!
That's awesome.
Your dad did this.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Wow.
So, Save Mart, they're based out of Modesto area. I've been to their headquarters
Yes.
a number of times.
You have?
Yeah, we sell some goods to
That's
Save.
true,
to
you do,
Save
yes.
Mart. Great people over there. They've always been headquartered in Modesto. They're local. That's kind of their big thing. Locally owned, the whole deal. Not anymore. They have now been acquired by Kingswood Capital Management out of the Los Angeles
He's probably owned by
area.
BlackRock.
Oh, I'm almost guaranteed.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, Save Mart also owns Lucky and Food Max.
Yeah.
And they also operate a pretty large refrigerated transport company called Smart.
Yeah.
And so that has been all taken over.
By a big investment group.
Yeah, they also own, of course, the Sunnyside Farms Dairy Processing, which is out in Turlock. So, yeah, Kingswood has invested in it and taken it over. That's including all 14,000 employees.
Jeez.
It already owns Cost Plus World Market.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bed Bath and Beyond.
They bought them all in while I was doing business with them. So like in 2000, probably like 2000. Actually, no, the article literally tells me January 2021 is when they bought Bed Bath and all of them.
Yeah,
So,
all those guys when stuff was closed down and
they bought them all.
They were doing bad. Yeah. Perfect timing, right?
So it's going to be really interesting. These guys are building up quite the portfolio.
Well, and what does that mean for Save Mart, though? Here, I mean, in the Valley, are they going to start closing stores now? I'm thinking they're going to close stores.
For the
is what
most
I'm
part,
thinking.
well, what they'll do is instead of like local stores like that, like a local market, will look at the whole, right?
Yeah.
And they'll say, okay, how are we doing? Mm-hmm. Well, we don't want to shut down the store maybe in Sanger. That one might not be making a lot of money, but we've been there for 40 years and we're going to keep it because it's a staple and we're part of the community, right?
Mm-hmm.
With an investment firm, most likely they're going to go look at every individual store and shut down anyone that's not making money.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is probably what they would do.
Yeah.
Yep, and say, well, we'll let somebody else take the loss on it. It's not our deal.
You can't. I guess you can't be mad at Save Mart because I don't know what their
They're probably
position is.
struggling,
Like,
yeah.
They, I don't know how they're doing, but at the same time, it's like here's just another big firm gobbling up. I mean, it was a pretty big company,
Yeah.
but still, it was medium sized, I guess, comparatively to other companies. But yet,
Other grocery chains, it's small, based out of Modesto. They don't go outside of the valley that I'm aware of,
Not
right?
too much, yeah.
no, I mean
California.
Lucky's does, but
Yeah, they have
Lucky's
they have
is in the
Lucky's up.
Bay
They
Area
have,
and in the LA area,
Yeah.
I think, somewhere down south. But yeah, I mean overall, so it's kind of sad to see them now gobbled up by a big firm.
So this Kingswood Capital, that's the bottom. They also own a company called Lind Marine, which provide barge and tug services, which I thought Marty also did that.
Just the tug
Oh,
service.
just the tug services. Okay, so not a direct
It's not
competitor.
marine oriented.
right.
Yeah.
It's a good tug service. If you need a tug, call me.
Or Lind Marine.
What kind of tug are we talking about here?
All dredging sort of
gotcha,
stuff.
Okay.
If you need your barge moved a little bit.
Oh, gotcha. This company owns a lot. I mean, I kind of looked at not their portfolio, but yeah, just some of the acquisitions they had. They had a lot of acquisitions in 2021, really.
Oh,
the last couple of years.
If you were a big investment firm, you gobbled up a lot of companies.
Yeah, and it don't make sense. It's not like they're all in the supermarket area, right?
No,
the grocery
no.
store. No, they're all over the place. They're just grabbing stuff left and right. So yeah, I'm sure they're owned by.
Now they are
BlackRock and Vanguard.
operationally focused in the lower middle market. So we are looking for investors at Kingswood Capital. So if you want to invest in the number one
gobble up our
podcast in
show?
the Central Valley, we'll
here,
take an investment.
Go to about, or I was reading that, and it said
Portfolio.
basically it wants to buy up family-owned
Families?
and entrepreneurial businesses. Yeah,
That's what
so
a lot of these companies do. That's what they'll focus on.
Yeah, so where it was, I don't know if this says it in here, but there was a part that it did say that.
Yeah, that's a big part. Oh, maybe under their investment criteria. A lot of times it'll be something like that.
Yeah, buyouts of family and entrepreneurially owned businesses.
That's us.
Yeah. That's a lot of times that's how they do because there's less. You can get a better deal.
Well, sure.
We'll
yeah.
never sell, though.
They're
Never
struggling a little bit, and they come along, hey.
If they offer us enough money, Marty, we'll sell.
$10.
Yeah, well, $10 per show.
Ooh, I don't know. I'm thinking.
Are we doing a negotiation?
And we're negotiating
All
for
of a sudden
them.
do the auctioneer. And we'll give you five, give you five,
10,
6.
10,
Now we got
10,
6 over
15,
here.
15.
6.
So we have 12 minutes left.
Oh, my
and
God.
I think
Wow.
we got a lot to cover still. Things might need to go into the next show. But this is pretty pertinent. And I think we have to talk about Eric's burning question.
Hey, everyone.
Where's it burn, Eric? Where's it burn?
I got to burn.
He's got to burn.
Yeah. gotta get it out.
Tremble at the sea.
Yeah.
Cause baby, I'm the guy who
You're jamming on that guitar, Doorman.
Hey. Yeah.
There you go. That's the Eric song.
It's an Xbox guitar. What was that thing called when you play
Air guitar?
Rock band.
Rock
Yeah.
band.
Rock band. It's
yeah.
a rock band guitar from Xbox. Okay, Bernie, quick. Well, hey, listen. Did we all see the Oscars, or did we?
haven't watched the Oscars
You haven't watched
since
them.
Chicago was the number one film.
I actually didn't see it either, but I did see, because everybody was texting me. My cousin's like, "Hey, did you just see this? What happened?" I go, "What the heck?" It was the slap heard around the world, right?
That's right.
So
I've seen the clips.
if you guys had lived under a rock. Well, anyway, so
Keep
there was
my wife's name out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, look at him. Oh no. You know what? I like Chris Rock.
Me too. I love Chris Rock.
Chris Rock is funny. He seems like a good man.
I like him a lot in Lethal Weapon 4.
He's funny in Lethal Weapon 4.
Yeah.
He had a great Oscar joke. I got to tell this
one?
really quick. This was
Yes.
early aughts. And it was when Jude Law was like the biggest star in Hollywood. And he gets up and he's like, Jude Law, why is Jude Law everywhere? He's like, every time you turn around or look at a preview, it's Jude Law's in the movie. If they were going to make a movie about the life of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, they would cast Jude Law to play Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
But he didn't joke about Kareem Abdul's hair loss, right? Because
No.
Kareem Abdul is also
It's funny they
is balding.
talked to Ricky Gervais about that.
Yeah.
And Ricky Gervais said, I wouldn't have mentioned his wife's hair loss at all. I would have mentioned his wife cheating on him.
Yeah, his wife's boyfriend. Yeah, that's what I would.
Great.
Well, so we all seen it. We don't still quite know if it's real or fake. I think it was kind of
real.
real,
It was
but
real.
there's a lot of people involved. Did you know Pfizer sponsored the Oscars and that
Sure they
they have supposedly they have an alopecia drug coming out? So you know. Anyway, okay. So, but that's not the burning question. But we all saw that. But here it is. You know, I saw that, and I got to tell you, my reaction was I was kind of sad, and the reason was because I'm looking at this, and I really think that smack heard around the world is kind of like the death of Hollywood. You know what I mean? It's just it kind of just
It's
goes
been dying
to show.
for a long time. You
It
can't be
is.
funny.
School
You can't be
Hollywood.
funny anymore. You know.
And so that was the question. I think it is. Yeah, you can't be funny. Do you guys think that Hollywood is basically dead? We're done.
Yeah, I think
with
Hollywood. I mean, what do you mean by Hollywood? That's a good
Well, I
question.
guess just the Hollywood, the movie industry. You know.
I think movie industry as we knew it. I think it's been changing for a while.
Yeah.
I think the idea of big movie stars and the big celebration of like big time movie studios kind of owning everything and the certain group of actors who are just like giant movie
Superstars,
stars.
yeah.
I think that is going to fade because there's too many things to watch now.
Yeah, and there's too much of a demand for entertainment.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think like the old type of Hollywood star is gone.
Yeah, it's
they're
gone.
fading quickly.
I think the last generation are those right now, like the Will Smiths, after that, I mean, there's very few if you say under 40, there's very few like big name stars that are going to draw
Even
$100
people who
million
are
movies.
extremely successful and in a lot of movies are not well-known names. Who's the guy that he's in like every movie? He's in the Star Wars movies. He was in the X-Men movie, played the Big Blue God in the X-Men movie.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
in,
the guy who stole all my movie career.
Yeah. He's great. He's a fantastic
He's
actor.
in Moon Knight.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember his freaking name.
Because we all have COVID brain.
I think
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac, fantastic actor.
Amazing actor.
Maybe
He's
one
literally
in the most movies right now.
He's in everything,
Yeah.
and most people don't know his name.
Yeah.
He's sure as hell not a Tom Cruise.
I think he was in Ex Machina.
Machina.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in.
Machina.
He's had lead roles in Dune, Ex Machina, The Card Counter, X-Men Apocalypse, Inside Llewyn Davis, Spider-Man Into the Dark, Star Wars, 3 Star Wars movies, Operation Finale, Most Violent Year, The Addams Family, Annihilation.
He was in Drive. Oh,
Drive.
yeah, he was in Drive. That's a
Robin
good movie.
Hood,
Wow.
The Promise, The Addams Family 2, Body of Lies, The Bourne Legacy, The Nativity Story, Sucker Punch.
Yeah, he played Joseph. That's right.
It just goes on and on
Barney.
and on. I mean, he's been in
I think-
movies. He's massive. Now,
I was gonna say I think he just said something kind of knuckleheaded too again, some kind of woke nonsense.
This guy?
Oh yeah, but that's the problem too, and it goes on to also the question would be like same with Disney. They're recently all their woke nonsense has come out. There was a Zoom meeting. I don't know if you guys saw that. Did you see that? There's a Zoom meeting, and they're talking about how all their content's now going to be all this woke content and all this nonsense. And it's really sad. I mean, it's like there's just nothing left as far as Hollywood, even with Disney now, for families to enjoy. You know?
No, I mean, well, you have to now, anything you make has to hit a certain criteria, has to have a certain amount of something. You know what I mean? There's there's formulas now that
And
you have
everyone
to.
has to be
no
gay
sense
or
in there.
questioning.
Half of the characters in Disney movies are going to be LGBTQ
Or ethnic minorities.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, okay.
They're calling it the Reimagine Tomorrow campaign.
Pass.
Well, and here's the thing. So on the flip side of that, and you had a story in there. Oh, that was the lady right there that I was telling you about earlier, Max. That she was on the meeting.
Don't just see us.
You know, the other thing too, when they're over here fighting Florida. I just want the company like Disney. It's like, okay, Disney, why don't you just be an entertainment company? I don't want you to get into politics.
It's interesting that
Stay away from
they
politics.
are so concerned about human rights, yet they had no problem filming Mulan next to the death camps where they're killing minorities in China.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, too, my other big issue, I think, and this is not me. I don't care, about what Disney wants to put in their stuff, right? Like, I'm either not going to watch it or I will watch it. If it's good, it's good, whatever. My issue is the perpetuation of this false idea of what this bill is. And that's really what's driving me nuts, is that everybody keeps on calling it the, quote, don't say gay bill. And nobody has taken time just to read the frickin' thing. And it's actually a really short bill. It very simply says that for elementary school age in Florida, state official curriculum will not discuss or teach kids about sexual orientations whatsoever.
And it's only from kindergarten through third grade.
Kindergarten through third.
And that's perfect. They don't need to know.
Right.
It doesn't need to know.
Orientation.
Like, it's not. It has nothing. Schools don't need to teach that to kids,
I don't think schools should teach about sex ed anyway. They should teach health.
and that's it.
And that's it. I mean, sex is a moral issue. Your family, should teach you about it.
You can teach the part of, look, this is where babies come
Right.
from. This is your body. This is whatever, and leave it at that. And that's all still okay. It even says that it can't, as long as it's not official curriculum. So if it comes up in conversation in these schools, you can still talk about it. It doesn't even say you can't. It just says you can't put it in the curriculum.
Wow.
Just as if, imagine if, I just want to say, what if somebody said, no, we're going to write a bill that says we're only teaching kindergarten through third grade that being heterosexual is the only way to go. That would also be upsetting. So instead, what he did was he said, no, we're just going to say we're not going to teach it at all. It's not our place. Let parents teach it. You can teach your kids whatever you want. It's not our job to do that.
But if they say, teacher, why is Jimmy's parents kissing?
Then they can
They
all
can say they're together.
they're allowed to talk about it.
Yeah. But
It's
it can't
just
be part
not
of
in
the
the
curriculum.
curriculum.
Yeah, it's not in the
Which
curriculum.
makes sense because
Yeah.
when you're in, kindergarten through third grade, you don't know about sex. You
No.
don't care about that stuff. You're just going
No.
to be who you are.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me, Marty, about your kids who grew up around same-sex married couples. And at some point, even though they had been around it their whole life, I think it was one of your daughters was like, all of a sudden realized there's two women that are married. That seems, she was just like, I don't know. She got to this certain age where all of a sudden she
just
realized
dawned on
that.
her,
Yeah,
yeah.
kids don't realize things like that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
People do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and it's sad though that a company like Disney is gonna. To be honest, I'm gonna make a prediction. I think they're gonna die on this hill because they've come out now and said that they're gonna fight this bill basically tooth and nail. Which they're like you're saying, they're calling it the other name, which makes no sense compared to what the bill really says.
Right.
So I think when parents got upset at the teachers and at the schools because they kind of saw what was being taught with all this staying at home, everybody had to because of the pandemic. I think that Disney is going to anger the parents even more, and I think they're going to pull away. I mean, I feel sad. I enjoy Disney. My daughter enjoyed Disney. My wife, we go to the parks. We love it. But at the same time, it's like I really don't want to support it anymore because of the nonsense.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of corporations getting into things that have nothing. Well, at least that are hypocritical, right? If they actually if they really believed in the rights of all people, and said, you know what? No, we're not filming in China. We're not
Yeah.
going to be there next to the slave camps and, use these Uyghur slaves to build our sets.
All these American companies are playing the
or
game.
Nike, who's
Yeah.
saying all these things, meanwhile using child labor, or everybody
Apple.
who's doing
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Apple. Oh, we are so passionate about our stuff. We only use recyclable boxes and care about everybody's choice, except we're going to pollute the oceans in China, let
Yeah.
kids dig for minerals and lock
Work
them away.
Chinese
and
people
they
to
literally
death to
live in
build
their
our
like
phones.
Apple camps,
Yes,
right?
and
Where they
live in
work-
a camp that
yeah.
you can't
Well,
leave
because
in.
those won't show up on their ESG scores.
Right.
But
Yeah.
But now the flip side of that though is that you did have an article up here, which I did hear that the Daily Wire is going to be pouring a ton of money, like $100 million,
Which is really interesting.
into programming, kids programming, all
Yeah.
kinds of family programming. Because the idea is that, okay, fine, you know what, Disney, you want to do this, you do this. We're tired of trying to change Disney or change
Right.
their environment. We'll just make our own.
Yeah, and that's the way you do it. I think this is smart. They said Americans are tired of giving their money to corporations who hate them.
Yeah.
And that's the good way of saying it. It's not that we want Disney to change. It's just saying people don't want to give money to companies who hate the very people you're giving your money to, right?
Yeah.
You're being told that you're a bad person. So they said, you know what? We're going to do our best to do something else. They want to do more than just cancel them. They want alternatives, is what the CEO says. So we're investing a minimum of $100 million over the next 3 years to create a line of live action and animated children's entertainment on a streaming platform. I think that's brilliant. Just give other people, just creating the options for people. And I think that's a great way to do it.
No, I think so too, and I think right here and right now we should let our audience know, and also this is coming up new to you guys, but I just had this idea. I think we need to immediately go to the Daily Wire and say, listen, we want to build a no-focus theme park.
Yes.
For families.
Oh, that'd be great.
And then have them. They got $100 million.
They can ride Don Schlick's pole.
And then go to the stupid ass thrift store.
Polar coaster.
Roller coaster.
Yeah. So I think that's what we need to do. We can have our own no focus.
Instead of teacups, they'll have
land.
Johnny Knobs where they spin around on the
Johnny
knob.
Knobs cups.
They could have a big warehouse full of old stuff, like the old Yoshi's warehouse,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you were. Yeah,
You
when get
dig
lost,
around. It's
It's
called
like a maze.
Stu's Warehouse Maze.
Yeah.
Warehouse of fun and mystery.
Yeah, really a lot of interesting stuff.
Can I bring in one more? I know we're running short on time. There's one
Yeah.
more story that ties into this because
Yeah.
we're talking about school and laws, state laws, educational laws. So the Biden administration is coming out with some new rules that they're putting on federal funding for charter schools. So it's interesting that they have federal funding for charter schools. It's a $440 million grant for charter schools, which is nothing when you're talking
Right.
about federal money for charter schools, because they're against charter schools because
Oh,
they're
yeah.
pro-teacher union. And what the teacher unions say is that charter schools are bad for children because they take money that should be going to public schools and they put them into charter schools, even though charter schools, most of them are public charter schools. So it really makes no sense. And what also doesn't make sense is that they're concerned about charter schools. And so Biden put these rules in. To get any federal funding for charter schools, there's 3 criteria that the charter school has to meet now. They have to prove that there is not enough schools in the area, and they prove that by showing and proving that the public schools are at capacity. So if your public schools are at capacity, or if there's any room in your public schools, your charter's not going to get funding. Because why should there be a charter school? Well, here's the thing. Charter school is not just about providing an education. It's providing good education.
Right.
It's giving people choice. My school that I live by is not good for whatever reason. It's not getting good test scores, whatever. But this charter school down the street, I can send my kid to for free with funding that I don't pay for, and then get a better education.
It's actually tax dollars you do pay for, right?
Well, yes, but it's like any public school, right? So you're not. I'm saying it's not a private school. It's publicly funded. Yeah.
It's not like
Isn't
it's
that
not like
kinda-
sending you to a Catholic school where you got to pay more.
But isn't that kind of what they want to do with vouchers? In other words, you pay your taxes, and they want to, give the parents the vouchers so that they can use them at whatever school they want to go.
Well, that's it's the same idea. Is look, you open
Yeah.
charter schools, and It's competition. Every school's going to get better if they have to compete with
Exactly.
this
That's a
charter
good
school
point.
that's doing better things, using their money smarter, providing better education, better curriculum, better teachers, right? And so the public schools, the teacher unions are fighting them. So now you have to prove that your local public schools are at capacity, right?
Right.
Which, again, people don't leave public schools because they're too full. They leave because they want a better education. Yeah. The other thing they put is now that to get federal funding, charter schools have to cooperate with a local public school in some way. That could be transportation or sports. Okay, so they're forcing the charter schools to work with these teacher unions that don't want them.
Now imagine what that means, though. During the pandemic, for almost 2 years, a lot of these teacher unions shut down schools.
So I was going to get to that. Yeah.
While charters stayed open. And if you're forced to work, associate with a public school, that means that even if you wanted to stay open and you were using your transportation, for instance, you'd have to be shut down.
Yeah. The third thing, which really gets back to what we were talking about with Disney and everything, is charters now have to meet a racial diversity quota with not only their student population, but their staff as well. Wow. So if your staff is made up of white people only, you're not going to get funding. If your student population is not diverse enough, you're not going to get funding. I happen to know that there's lots of charter schools in areas that only have Hispanic kids. Are they not going to get funding?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what mixture is going to equal success? What if you have a site that the only people applying for jobs are white teachers, and they're willing and able to be good teachers based on the color of their skin? Now we're going back to skin color as the only reason they're getting a job. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. So this is the Biden administration's idea of how to fund public schools. I find it funny too that at the same time, these people who want to shut down charters are scared that that their education by the state, you know what I mean? So like, oh, Florida's putting in these bad bills. So what would I do as a parent if I didn't agree with this with this law that is being put? I might send them to a different school. But the same people who are angry at these bills are also the same people who want to shut down charters.
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
There's no sense.
But let me put this, Max brought this up. Over the last 2 years, public schools have received $200 billion of COVID relief.
Wow.
Charter schools, what did they say it was? 440 million.
Yeah.
Public schools, $200 billion in 2 years. Wow. You know what they did with that money? They shut down their schools and they gave it mostly to teachers. I know that because my wife works at a local district, and that's what the union did. The union actually argued for Fresno Unify that no learning loss occurred during the 2 years of COVID, and they justified it, so they gave the money to teachers. They didn't use it to help their students succeed. Meanwhile, the charter company that I'm involved with stayed open for 2 years, kept teaching. We closed our sites down. Well, mostly. Actually, we kept some sites so kids could come in.
I know for a fact what you guys did because I also am related to somebody who works at this place. They set up, they made sure every student had access to nice laptops. They gave them all like headphones, everything they could
still had
possibly
access to your teachers.
And they did food giveaways.
Yeah.
Wow.
Every student got food. They had things for parents even to get food. Made sure that they had access to your teachers. I'll just say my wife works there, and she was always on call for all of her students. Was helping them at all times.
Students could still go to campus. There was always at least one staff on campus, so you could get help with your homework or turn it in.
So sometimes a lot of those kids just need an adult to talk to that care.
Yeah,
that's a big part of it.
That's a big thing.
One of the main things I did at my job as a teacher was obviously educate. That was secondary to just making sure that there was a responsible adult in these kids' lives.
Yeah, and to be almost like a pseudo father figure to these poor kids.
The teachers at our schools might be the only responsible adult or caring adult that one of these students will ever have in their life. And sometimes that's the only person that needs to make a difference. I can't tell these stories specifically, but I know of 3 students that I had to get involved with, CPS and everything, and pulled them out of horrific situations, and they're better off for it today. You know what I mean? Like, as schools were closed down for 2 years, these students had no access to teachers who might be intervening, with this. So,
and as a teacher, it's always the little things, because I would have students come up to me later and say, you really made a big difference in my life, and I'd be surprised. I go, really? He goes, yeah. I go, what did I do? He goes, you just talked with me and let me talk.
Mm-hmm.
That's been an interest in me.
Yeah, and so charter schools, by the way, I'm not trying to be like sell my job, but our schools allowed one-on-one because of the way they were constructed. They don't have to follow like the same organizational but the organizational structure that most public schools are. Our school took a different approach. Hey, you get more one-on-one time with teachers, more one-on-one focus, and those relationships you couldn't get lost, right? You go to a big public school, you could just sit in the back row and not cause trouble and just get passed along.
Well, this is why you end up having half your students in the first place, because they got passed along at a normal school and failed out of the system.
Yeah. They can't read, and it's
And there's a reason why our school's opened. I think I just read this, the 20-year anniversary of our school. Years. They started with 30 students. We now have 47,000 students.
Wow.
So where are those students coming from? Are we forcing them to leave their schools? No, they're leaving because they weren't succeeding at their school. They want a better option, educational option.
Let me ask you this, because I don't know that much about charter. What's the curriculum? Is there definitely harder curriculum in a charter school?
It could be. It could be
compared to a public school.
It could be. Some charters are for advanced, focused students, science students, STEM. It really, there's nothing that says like a charter school has to be this. Our charter school had a different model. Like I said, that was really more personalized one-on-one instruction. That was our big push that made us unique. But yeah, some are science or STEM, like science, technology, math, whatever. There's, so each charter is unique.
We're getting the music, the Oscar music here from Max. All of a sudden,
I want to thank my mother.
The mic is going down into the floor.
Guys, we thank you so much for tuning in to the No Focus Radio Hour. We really appreciate you. And we appreciate you telling your friends. Also, really rate and subscribe. If you go on iTunes, whatever thing you're listening to us on, just give us the old 5-star review, because
it is the correct number of stars. Also, I want to say, make sure you get your tickets for the Don Schlicks Polar Coaster.
That's right.
The Fast Pass. The lines are long.
The lightning lane.
Thank you all very much. Tune in a couple of days for our next episode, where we talk Hamilton. That's right. I saw Hamilton on my birthday, and I got a surprise for you guys.
Where raisins come from?
It was garbage.
Oh.
Running just as fast as I can.